everyone. Happy Tuesday. Cheers to you. You can do a little ASMR. I am drinking I'm working on editing the next Bake Shop book. So I am deep in Andy's world. So I am drinking a mocha with decaf because it's late here. I mean, it's not late, but I would not be doing caffeine at this hour. Unlike Jules, I am doing an iced mocha with soy milk. Tech Guy, what's your brew tonight? Mm,
I have
Tech Guy pop up.
yeah, I've got Weekend Vibes by Coronado
Mm,
Brewing
this is your
uh,
fave.
down San. My absolute fave. In fact, if anybody out there from Coronado Brewing is watching,
I'm sure they are.
I'd be happy to be a taste tester.
Yeah.
No, mine's a little bit stronger than yours because I just finished up a long day of work.
Of your
not
real
that you
job.
didn't. Not that you
Right.
didn't. I just
Right.
had some things going off the rails at the end of the day. So very happy to be here tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, cheers to that. We're going to talk
Yeah.
books, we're going to talk brews, we're going to talk whatever you want to talk about. Tonight's just like a casual ask either of us anything you want to know. I have a stack of books that I have finished over the last month, as well as the book that I'm starting tonight that I absolutely cannot wait to share. Lenny, you've got a cranberry lime spritzer. Beth Cole, IPAs all the way. Yes. Sue, you have a Moosehead lager. That sounds great. Oh, Prosecco. Bring it on, Laura. Everybody has such fun drinks. Yeah, Laura, water's always a good choice. You got to stay hydrated.
I actually have a question because I saw during the intro song Taylin was eating
Mm,
homemade pickles.
I was
And
going
I
to bring
wanted
that
to
up.
know, because I learned today, I learned on TikTok, not today,
Yeah,
but recently, I learned on TikTok that you can just, if you buy a jar of pickles at the store and you finish all the pickles, you can just slice up a cucumber and throw them right back in the jar. And in a couple
which you
days, you have
did,
brand new
correct?
pickles. Yeah,
Yeah, and they turned
it's
out
crazy.
amazing.
They were great.
It's
Yeah.
happy birthday, Laura. Laura, happy birthday. Cherry, yes, I do have a tan. This is the pro and con of living in California because I'm out walking every day. I wear a lot of sunscreen, like so much sunscreen. And also, our neighbors have a pool. So I've been pool sitting for them all summer, which is really that's a pro tip. Find some neighbors who have a pool and like to travel a lot and pool sit for them. And then when they're home, in fact, today, my neighbor and I did water aerobics together. So I definitely hiking, being outside every day, am getting sun in spite of all of the sunscreen that I put on. So yeah, what can you
Oh my
do?
gosh. Oh my
What?
gosh.
Oh, what? I know what you're doing this weekend. Thanks, Paula.
That's
Or
right.
no thanks.
Also, looks like we've got 10th wedding
Chris,
anniversary.
it's your 10th wedding anniversary. Just, well, here's to that. I hope you're toasting with your sparkling water. Happy 10th anniversary. And I think you're working away on a new book too. Is that right? So exciting. TikTok is the teacher. It's true. Andrew, you're drinking a lime and sea salt Pilsner. Ooh, I'm undecided how I feel about it. Not a big Pilsner guy, but I love trying new beers. I feel like a Pilsner's good for summer though, right? Because it's light. The concept of lime and salt is intriguing. You'll have to report back. I need more information on that. Yeah, Taylor a pool sit, right? I know. I don't know how I landed that gig, but because basically that just means I go over and watch their pool and then swim in it when they're off on their travels, which as a someone who has always loved swimming, it's basically my favorite. It's kind of the best of both worlds because as much as I like the idea of owning a pool, I don't know if anyone has a pool of your own. It also seems like a lot of work. So this is like, oh, I get to go over and pretend like I have a pool. It's my fake pool. It's my fictional pool. Really, it works. Donna, you're having Bigelow's black tea. Is that iced or hot? I'm very curious to know on that. Um, yeah, I've been loving soy and oat milk lately. Those are my two go-to additions for any sort of coffee. Let's well, as we said to start, tonight's just casual chat, have a drink, whatever's your poison. And I wanted to share some of the books that I have read and loved recently. The Tech Guy's got a couple books. Anything you want to share in terms of what you've read and enjoyed, and then any other questions that you have. I think Tech Guy, you said like put Q or something, right? Not even bookish questions, just anything you want to ask. Feel free. It's that kind of night. We're here.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. If you've got a question, just start it with a Q. It's a lot easier to see. One of these days, I'll show the screen and all the windows that are going on right now. It's a lot to track.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's good. It's good that we're doing this right after work finishes because I've got a lot of brain space to track all this info. But
But now you have your
that's
frothy IPA, so you'll be
that's
in
right.
great
That's
shape,
right.
right?
Let's
Yeah,
do this. Yeah.
exactly. Um, okay, well, I'll start us off with a few of the books that I have read in the last month or so and devoured. So the first one on my list is Yellowface. Look at that cover by R.F. I hope I'm saying it right. Kong or Kang. I need to look that up. I was just talking to our housemates about that. We have Sky Guy in town. Okay. I know in this group, many of you are writers. If you want a very, very accurate look at the inner workings and sometimes craziness that is, I should put this away because that makes my face really dark, huh? That is publishing, big publishing, right? Traditional publishing. This is the book for you. In fact, if you're just even interested in publishing and how things work and breaking down myths, this book is for you. It's a fictional story, but clearly RF knows some insider information about publishing because it's a little bit of a scathing look at times, but it was a phenomenal story. It's an anti-hero story. I don't want to give too much away, but basically the premise is uh, there are two key writers who are the protagonists, and one of them steals the other author's work. And I don't know if we know this right off the cuff about whether one of them dies. Yeah, okay, we know that right off the. We do know. I didn't want to give away any spoilers, but yeah. So someone steals their friend's work, pulls it off as their own, and then there's big fallout. It's a look at race relations. It's a look at sort of the angst that is publishing. And then you don't know who to root for because June, who is the author, you thought it wasn't out yet? Oh, yeah, it's out. It's been out for
No,
a while.
no,
I
no,
mean, it's
no.
out. Oh, sorry.
That's unrelated. We'll get to that in a
Okay.
minute. Sorry, I
We're
hit the
going to
wrong
circle back
button.
to that. Okay.
Yeah.
June is a really hard character to root for, and yet it's a page turner. There's a lot to unpack in terms of, yes, Jennifer, it 100% anti-hero is the theme song. We should do that, like pair every book with a Taylor song. I might have to get on that. Chris, you will definitely love it being on the other side of publishing. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. I breezed through it. I want to talk about the ending because I had some things that I wondered about in terms of the ending, but I'm not going to give it away. Denise, you described it as characters you love to hate. Yeah, I know. And even, yeah, it's hard to not give things away about it, but it's a good anti-hero story. And if you're just curious about publishing at all, I think you should read it. And it really does. Yes, Karen, read it 100%. I think it also speaks a lot about some of the bigger issues in publishing in terms of representation and yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, before I get to that, what do I need to go back to? Something, Tech Guy? Oh, I lost your audio.
Sorry, I
Okay.
was on mute. I saw some comments because, as you know, this is happening.
Ah, I
Right?
know. I haven't seen them yet. I know, and Diana tagged me. Thank you
Yeah.
on Instagram yesterday, I think. And her copy arrived early. It's nuts. It's not supposed to be out until the end of the month. Here we go, like talking about big publishing and how things work. I mean, I do think that's fascinating too, because one thing that Yellowface does is it breaks down a lot of those myths about like every author is a millionaire, and that somehow, like, as the author, you're the one calling all the shots. Like, not true. Yeah, so I can't wait to see my author copies, but I'm super excited that you all have them. That's so ironic.
Yeah, so
Um,
to answer Sue's question, it
it is
doesn't
not out
officially
yet.
release until the 22nd, but it sounds like it's out now.
Yeah,
Maybe indie bookstores' way of scooping Amazon. I don't know,
yeah,
but yeah.
go for it. I do think they made a mistake in releasing it early. Yeah, it got sent. In fact, a couple of my favorite indie bookstores had reached out to me like a week ago and said, "Hey, all of these copies just arrived. Like, well, what's the deal?" Um, I'm super excited for Catch Me If You Candy. We'll talk about that in a minute. Um, Michelle, you got waitlisted for the Eras show in Indianapolis pre-sale today. Okay, we got to give you all of the like pro messaging. We'll send you all of the energy to get those tickets. Here's what happened um, in the Santa Clara shows and then in LA that I read about, which I kind of wanted to drive to LA today or maybe tomorrow because there's still a couple shows left. Uh, People waited in the parking
Yeah.
lot, right? Yeah, people waited in the parking lot, ready to go at like 8 o'clock. They're, I guess, from 8 until 8:20. The secondary ticket sites like StubHub will release that whole batch. So, like, let's say floor seats were some ridiculous, like $10,000 a piece. If you wait and purchase them in that like 20-minute window, you can get floor seats for like nothing because it's like just that last chance. But you would miss the first couple songs, but she plays for 3.5 hours. So who cares? And plus, you would get floor seats. So that could be
It's like
amazing.
every song. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, pro tip, do not, and I repeat, do
Oh,
not
yeah. This
wait
is
in the
good.
merch lines for hours. Rookies do that. Well,
Rookies.
if you want that blue sweatshirt, you probably need to do that because apparently that thing it goes fast. But like 3 songs in to the concert, there was a merch booth in the club right behind us, and I turned around and there are 6 people, employees, standing at the club table just looking bored because there was no one there. So I turned to her and said, "I'll be right back," and I
I'm
went
going.
in and got merch for her, our niece, everybody, in like 30 seconds. So just
Um,
wait till the concert starts, and then run to
Run,
the
get the
merch
merch.
line.
Yep. You'll be in
It'll
and
take
out.
2 minutes. You'll be
Yeah.
back before
You
the
won't even
song
miss a full
ends.
song.
Yeah.
Would you say that you are officially a Swiftie now after that?
Oh, totally. I did. In fact, I should have worn my shirt. I mean, I've got my Eras T-shirt, very cool design, and then I even had Swifty socks for the concert.
You did.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And what did you think of the experience?
it was. I mean, concerts are ruined for me. Like there's never there unless she does something at this level again, like there will never be a concert as good as this concert. Like it is like production value is. It was like, well, okay. First of all, I don't know. I'm hogging the live tonight, but
No, hung away.
when Taylor Swift showed up, when she came up out of the stage to start the concert out, it was the loudest sound ever experienced on planet Earth. In the history of the planet, it was the loudest sound I had ever heard. I had kind of like an out of body experience for a second because my body was vibrating so loud, because not from the speakers, from the fans. Like it was unbelievable. It was pretty amazing. I had a great time. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It did
Yeah.
not feel like 3.5 hours. I'll say
No.
that.
And that was just her, because
Yeah.
then Gracie and Haim performed for
Yeah.
like 2 hours before that. So you also sort of, I mean, I know it's an expensive ticket, but you're getting your money's worth and then
It
some for
was,
sure.
and then some, absolutely. But you should also sorry, I was reading comments. Did you tell them about the? Yeah, you did. Waiting for the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The other thing for me, it was like the most just like hype experience I've ever had in terms of being there. There were definitely a lot of men there too, but it was the most women, every age of girls, of every walk of life imaginable. And the hype was phenomenal. Like, you couldn't walk anywhere without somebody being like, "I love your bracelet. Can we trade?" Like, the bathroom line was the best bathroom line I've ever been in my entire life. And I just think, it's proof that women should rule the world. Let's make it happen. Jennifer, it did register an earthquake in Seattle for sure. I don't know if it did here in California, but I'm sure it would have. Yeah. Beth, I loved reading about her bonuses to her staff and employees. Oh, and I will say this, there was a big article in our newspaper here about the fact that every city that she's traveled to, she's done a huge donation to the local food bank. And she donated so much to the Santa Clara County Food Bank here that they will be able to feed 500,000 people for an entire year, including fresh produce. I know. Um, and they have such an abundance of overstock that they're going to be able to disseminate some of that out to some of the like smaller food banks nearby, which I think, I certainly, I don't think that anyone on the planet is perfect, but I think that she is a fantastic model for how you can share and be generous. And yeah, it was phenomenal. I would go again in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think about it. Yeah, let's go. Taylor for president, 100%. Yes. And you can do a lot when you're at that level and not share and give back. So seeing examples of that happening is awesome. When she comes to
That's awesome.
Indianapolis this year, I'm gonna have to work. Yes, you are, Brian. Yeah. How do you get on as like one of her security team too? That's
Totally.
the move, because then you're on
Can
the
I be
floor.
deputized?
Mhm. And Beth will need to come with you to like, I don't know, like make sure you're oh, that's the other thing. I was gonna say make sure you have a snack. um, Her mom brings food out apparently to all of the security staff before the concert starts. Like, come on. It's amazing. Okay, let's get back to books though. The second book that I recently read and loved is The Marlowe Murder Club by Robert Thorogood. I think it's Thorogood. Again, I'm so bad with names. So
It's thorough good.
is it Thorogood? Okay. Um, so great. This is set in England, so you had me there right away. I don't know if anyone's read it yet. I would say this definitely falls in the vein of a cozy, sort of Agatha Christie-esque. Our main sleuth is a retiree, Judith, who likes to go swim naked in the evening in the river to cool off and witnesses a crime, and then she recruits three other unsuspecting women of multiple ages to help her solve the crime. It's so clever. They're such a feisty little team. And Judith, we have some like suspicions about actually everyone who's involved in the sleuthing and in the crime. I really enjoyed it. And if I know everybody here is a mystery lover, so go pick this one up. What else did I want to say about it? Oh, this is the first one in the series. These ladies take death seriously is the tagline, which I think is very true. Taylin, you read it during your vacation in Palm Springs. Yes, it's such a wild book, isn't it? Like, the characters are so quirky, and I loved the setting of an English village. And it also felt, if anyone has read Agatha Raisin, that series by MC Beaton, which is coming back. She died a few years ago. And Marion, it was her actual name, MC Beaton. And I heard that they've found somebody else to take on that series who's going to write it in the same style. But it kind of had that vibe. It's not too dark. It
It's funny you say
all
that because look at this.
Robert Serger created. Oh, yes. We love Death in Paradise. Oh,
Yes, love it.
Humphreys was my favorite. Death in Paradise, though, I don't want to give anything away, but that show has such a shocker at is it the end of season 1 and or it's the start, it's the first episode of season 2, right, Tech Guy? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember?
Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
It might have been it, it might have been the end of or the start of season 3.
Was it
I
the
don't know
start?
if
Yeah.
it was 1 or 2, but anyway, it
Something that
was.
you think never could happen in a cozy
Right.
happens, but
Don't
I
pick that series up in the middle.
no.
If you watch the TV series, start from the beginning, because otherwise you'll be like, wait, what just happened? Like, you won't know what's going on
Yeah,
at all.
it'll be a shocker. That's also the perfect summer mystery show. So if you are in need of binging something, highly recommend Death in Paradise. It is awesome, right, Kelly? It's so good. The cast is
Yeah.
great.
See,
It's quirky.
Cherry
First of
said,
season
yeah,
3?
yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
I couldn't remember. I don't wanna say it out loud because then I'll give it away for somebody who hasn't seen it.
Jennifer
Season 3,
agrees.
yes, yeah. I just remember we're like, "Wait, this is not really happening." But anyway, it's great. It's something that you don't expect. You should watch it just for that, but it's the same thing. It has all of the cozy vibes. You watched it for the first time with my daughter who had already seen it. Yeah, you're not expecting it. I know. I think the Tech Guy and I, our jaws were on the floor. You're like, what's happening? This isn't real. Like, oh. Um, anyway, so yes, if you like Death in Paradise and you haven't read this series, you should definitely pick this one up because it's in the same tone for sure. And if you haven't watched Death in Paradise, I'm so excited for you. Go start it tonight. It's just light and fun, and it's set on the beach, and you'll have a tropical drink, and it's cozy, and all those things. Kayla, we have not started Beyond Paradise. In fact, that just showed up last night when we were looking for a show as like our recommended. And that's with Humphreys, right? I mean, it looked like he is in, and he's my favorite out of all the Death in Paradise. Valerie, my husband was so
I
confused.
remember thinking this too.
Yeah, right. Yes, yes, definitely. Okay, the next book that I recently finished came as a must read recommendation from a friend here. We were out for drinks and dinner with some friends a few weeks ago. And I had done a local podcast, which I'll share because it should be coming out soon. And our friends were talking about the fact that they had seen Gail Carriger,
Carragher
Carriger,
or
um,
Carragher. Yeah.
Carriger. Um, they had seen her on one of the podcasts. That's how they like got connected with this local podcast. And raved about this series, and I had never heard of it before, but when you get a recommendation like that at that level, I was like, all right, I'm going to order it from my local bookstore right away. I shared about this I think a couple weeks ago when I started reading it, and clearly I don't know how I missed this series because wow, so phenomenal. This is the first, it's Soulless. It's part of the Parasol Protectorate series. They are also set in England. So, you know, there's a theme running through my summer. Sharon, I'm not surprised. I could totally see why you would love this. I mean, Lev Grossman is one of the people who blurbed it, and I love everything he writes. So there you have it. It has a touch of fantasy. You've got some werewolves and vampires in the mix, a very spunky protagonist, and then all of the fun, like London court and royalty. It's historical. It's a romance. So this is not we started with like general fiction, then we had a cozy in there. This is a romance, so that's my warning to you that if you're not a romance reader, don't pick this one up, but if you are, highly recommend. And I cannot wait because this is the first in this series and there are more, and then she writes I believe 2 other series. So I'm a Gale convert now. I'm so glad that I got the recommendation, and I want to pass that along. Soulless. Oh, was an autocorrect. That's funny. I'm like soiled. Laura, a different book. Yeah, no, okay. Soulless. Yes, it's so good. Yeah, it's got a touch of almost like a steampunk vibe comes to mind. Like, they are historical. They're set like early 1900s probably ish. That's what I have in my mind. I don't know if there's ever an actual time that's talked about, but I think the way that she's describing fashion and everything, but it could be like an alternate reality at this moment in time. But if you see like how she's dressed on the cover and she has her parasol, and London has that sort of atmospheric, moody vibe in this too, which I think plays well to the fact that there are sort of these vampires and werewolves who are walking around. The world also is built out so that people understand that they're part of it and they're kind of part of the high court. Yeah. You think, yeah, steampunk, right? It feels like kind of steampunky to me. Um, is it safe to listen with grandma in the car? It did not seem very spicy to me. I'm not great at like the spice scales, but it didn't feel like super super spicy to me. So I would say yes. Robert Thorogood has also written 4 Death in Paradise books. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go read the books. How fun. Okay, yeah. Love it. Okay, so last but not least, I just literally finished this book last night. It's Alias Emma by Ava Glass. This one I picked up because I was at the bookstore and it was on like the recommended reads list. I had no prior attachment to it. I just completely got sucked in by the book selling display. And the concept of this is it's like a James Bond, but with Emma Makepeace. I also love that name for a character, Emma Makepeace. It's her alias, of course. She's right out of training and gets her first assignment to protect this Russian. Oh, Sue, you're going to love it. To protect this diplomat. And it takes place all over the streets of London. It's set in modern day. If you like anything that is in the spy vein, you will love this. I think I started it like on Friday and finished it last night. It's a quick and easy read. There's already a second one coming, so I'm super excited. It's very James Bond, or if you went to see Mission Impossible this summer, think that. And then, of course, well, it also reminds me a little bit of like a John Grisham novel. It's got some touches of the underground of London, and highly, highly recommend. Super fun. Perfect again for summer. Like, I love a good spy thriller in the summer. The Tech Guy and I just finished the Jack Reacher series with John Krasinski, and now we're starting on the Citadel because I just
Oh,
always what?
The Diplomat. We did
Oh,
The
The
Diplomat too,
Diplomat.
which was amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good. I want more
Netflix.
of them.
Yeah.
Netflix. Oh,
Yeah.
Carrie Russell. Man,
They're
I
already
know.
making season 2.
That's been
Yeah.
most of like our summer viewing, I would say, is
Right.
that kind
I
of
know.
vibe.
Totally.
Mhm. Okay. And then last but not least, this is what I am starting tonight, and I cannot wait. Who is a fan of our good friend Anne? Tom Lake. This is her newest. You can see that I bought it at my local independent bookstore, Lee's, here. I cannot wait. This is our book club pick for September, so I'm gonna start on it and get it read early. This is also a first signed edition. What I love about Lee's books is if you buy a hardcover, you just keep it. If it's in good condition, then you can return it for 50% the original price, which often I do. But because this is a signed first edition, I am keeping this beauty. I will read anything that I can get my hands on. There's not been a novel that Anne has written that I haven't adored. She owns a bookstore in Nashville. At some point in time, we need to make like a book mecca trip to go visit her, and then we could just work our way down to Florida for Judy Blume's bookstore. It could be like a whole tour of the country. State of Wonder is still my favorite book by her, but I'm very excited just to have anything out that's new. I am a super, super fan. Auto buy, like instantly. I wanted it. Kara, I want a bookstore for 50% off, right? Yeah, isn't it so great? How exciting. How did you find a book club? I found it at the bookstore. I started a couple, I joined a couple bookstore or book clubs when we moved. But my favorite I found at my local independent bookstore. There's a literary lunch once a month. So everybody meets for lunch. And it's great because that offers an opportunity for people who might be working to pop in for their lunch hour, have lunch, and then head out, or it works for people who have more flexibility too. It's been so fun, and it's such a great way to meet people, and then you meet your bookish community right away. If you don't have an independent bookstore in your area, well, okay, if you do have an independent bookstore near you and they're not doing a book club, you should reach out to them and say, like, hey, do you want to do a book club? Maybe we could do a mystery book club, and see what they have to say, because it's great for the bookstore too, because it gets readers in. It encourages readers to purchase the book from the bookstore potentially too, or you could just start your own. How's that? I like that idea too.
Speaking of which, do you want to talk about this was unscripted, but do you want to talk about the idea we had regarding that very
You
thing?
talk about it,
Oh,
because
we're going
you
to start
also
a book
talk
club.
about your
We're,
books.
yeah, I will start, but we're going to
Okay,
start a
okay.
book club. Yeah,
Yeah, we were thinking, why
yeah.
not?
We thought we all get together a
Mhm.
couple times a month, so why not, right?
Right.
So that's going to become one of the regular lives. Will be the Ellie Tech Guy book club. Sometimes we'll be reading British historical mysteries, and sometimes we'll be reading sci-fi. I'm just going to be honest right now. like, but the cool thing is we'll do both. Like each time, like you'll have a choice,
Right.
and
That's what I
then
was just going to say. We're each going to pick a book for our book club.
yes, we're each going to pick a book, and then
Hmm.
we're going to have a competition. This I'm just making this up right now because I
Oh,
thought of
good.
it and thought it'd be a great idea, and you're going to love it. We're gonna have a competition to see who reads which one of us gets more people to read our choice
Oh,
during the week.
what? I didn't hear about this.
I thought it'd be awesome, right? Yeah, yeah. Just remember, I make most of the merch. Might have
Yeah,
giveaways, so
exactly. I know you run the giveaways. Yeah, I see what you're doing. I see.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. It looks like people it looks like people like the idea. So yeah,
Yeah, we
cool.
thought we'd start it in September and then give everyone a full month to
Yeah,
pick and read either my pick, which will be phenomenal, or the tech guy's pick, which, could be okay. We'll see.
yeah,
Who reads more
yeah.
between us?
Who reads more? Oh
Yeah.
well, I mean, to emails count
No.
because I win far and away. I don't know
Um,
anybody else who reads 1,000 emails a day, so or Slack messages or whatever. So yeah. Um, Clash of the genres. I love that.
yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
Oh, come on. I'm already losing. Uh,
But I might not always pick a mystery. We'll have to see.
right.
Right.
And Julie's right. There's nothing like a held. It's just a friendly There's literally nothing, except if I win, I'll never let her forget it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. I know it's internal bragging rights.
yeah. Yeah. I'm not either, Cherry, but I get paid for it. So,
Yeah,
like,
got to
yeah.
do what you got to do.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, that'll be part of the fun. So yeah, Taylor, so you just watch Ellie's social accounts or subscribe to her newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to her newsletter if you haven't already. I say this not because we want more newsletter subscribers for any monetary reasons, because literally we don't make any money off the newsletter. It's just that social media is really hard to get the message out to everyone. So if you subscribe to the newsletter, you will definitely hear about everything first, because you're guaranteed to see it if you read it. Got to read it. So yeah.
um, You have your picks?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Here, let me
yeah.
switch to. I'm gonna
Trade
come in
out.
big. How's this? I'll probably turn that one off, so we don't need two tech guys.
You could have two tech guys.
Uh, okay, first up, keeping with that sci-fi theme, um, I'm The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I think I have a title card for this somewhere, but uh, this is a. I'm I'm probably halfway through this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm reading it on this, but somebody gave me this as a
I gave it
gift.
to you.
I know. So I'll probably give this away as a giveaway at some point because I haven't touched the actual paper copy, but this is the first in a series, and it's really fun. It's about the crew of a transport ship, basically. Oops, deep space. For anybody who like Firefly, will love this. That series, like if you love Firefly, you'll love The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Lillian, two tech guys, double the fun. The second book, I'm going to have to read the back. I got to read the back because it is amazing. I have not read it yet, but it's John Dies at the End by David Wong. This was another gift.
That cover looks amazing. That was highly recommended by Beach Books too.
Yes, I was going to say a Beach Books bookmark just fell out of the thing. And Taylor, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I definitely have a Kindle. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just gonna read this because this one has me intrigued, and I want to start it. It's pretty long. It's 400 and 465 pages. So for me, that's going to take like 3 months, just because I start it and then like 8 days later, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm reading a book. I got to jump in on it. So I agree, Jennifer. Oops,
Oh,
yeah, didn't show up.
Firefly should
I
never
know.
have been
It's the
canceled. Best show
worst
ever.
decision
Oh,
ever. Yeah,
yes. Agreed.
yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, so here we go. John Dies at the End. This is also a movie now. It says I have not seen the movie,
I know
but now a major
we
motion
can't watch the
picture.
movie until you read it.
No, well, and the book's going to be better anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. My name is David Wong. My best friend is John. Those names are fake. You might want to change yours. You may not want to know about the things you'll read on these pages about the sauce, about Korok, about the invasion and the future. But it's too late. You touched the book, you're in the game. You're under the eye. The only defense is knowledge. You need to read this book to the end, even the part with the bratwurst. Why? You just have to trust me.
It sounds so
It's
good.
great.
I
I
want to
can't
read
wait.
it. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I can't wait. Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Uh-huh.
So those are my two. Like I didn't have a stack of 5 or 6, but those are my two right now.
No judgment.
Right.
No, I
Yeah.
think that's important. We were talking about that, because some people are really fast readers. Some people, read a mix of
That's
like
right.
Kindle, print, audio. And I think that can be intimidating for readers who maybe aren't as fast. So it's totally okay if you read one book a year or if you read 500 books a year. Like there's never judgment. Yeah.
Yeah, Laura, it did say bratwurst. I don't know the context. It just that's what it said. So,
We don't know. It's a
oh,
mystery.
are we going to read each other's?
Mm.
Probably not.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I'll
I
have to
would
think on that.
say I would say you tend to read my books more than I read yours. It happens on occasion, but you tend to read mine more than I read yours. Wouldn't you say
I
that's
think
true?
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. But I
Okay.
also just read a lot more than you do. So there's also that.
That is true. Yeah. That is true. Um,
Um,
yeah.
Cherry had a
There's some.
question for you.
Who did?
Cherry about Douglas Adams,
Oh yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide. I have not read that series, but This guy.
One of my all-time favorite series. In fact, I have a leather-bound edition of it that I will never part with. I go back and read that occasionally too. I've read it a few times now. It's like, yeah, 7 for those of you who know the inside info joke, whatever. 7.
7. 7.
Yeah. I saw another. Maybe I missed it. I saw another question about that I was going to put up, but that was it. But anyway, yeah, love the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. You answered that one. Oh
Wait, so
yeah,
after your strokes, you could only get a few chapters a week. Yeah, where you would read a book in 2 days before, right? But it doesn't like
right.
the important thing is you're healing and taking care of yourself, and any reading that you can do is phenomenal for your brain. So that's the piece that, I think sometimes can get almost competitive with people where it's like, oh, well, I read 8 books this week and you only read 12 or whatever. It doesn't matter at all.
Right.
I'm glad that
No, I'll
you're
be.
reading.
Yeah, you read what you want to read,
Yeah.
and when you want to read it. And if anybody tells you otherwise, this is a PG rated broadcast, so I can't say what I'd say. But yeah, but yeah, no, there's nothing. I mean, I love reading, but I am a slow reader, and it's like, yeah, that's all I'll say on that.
Or
This is
sometimes you
true
just want
too.
to live in that like fictional world for longer. Like I'll find that when I get close to the end of a book where I don't want to give it up, and I want to just like savor it a little more because I'm enjoying the story and I'm so in that world. So yeah. Yeah, Kara, good point. It is
Yeah,
not a race. It's meant to
it's
be
not a
fun.
race. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Somebody had a comment about. Oh yeah, Valerie, this is totally true for me in long books. 'Cause
Yeah, exactly.
although I will say, like, there is a number on the Kindle too, and sometimes that number is a lot higher. That depending on what you have the font set at, and me with the glasses, it's usually larger. So sometimes a 462-page book might be like 800 pages, which I'm like, oh. But if it's good, I'll stick with it. So, yeah. Definitely.
Jill, you're a slow reader too. Sometimes it's because I don't want it to end. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, I
Yeah.
love Anthony Horowitz. I haven't read A Line to Kill, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. And you didn't guess the killer. That's always a big pro, especially as a mystery writer, right? Where you're like, I feel like I should be able to guess it, but
Yeah. Uh, Cherry commented earlier. This was
oh,
this
I
just
know,
got
I
me
cannot
excited because we saw this last
wait.
night. I mean, we
Yes,
didn't watch it. We just saw that it was out now. So, if
yes.
anybody hasn't seen Only Murders in the Building, the show that Cherry's referring to, go out and pay for Hulu for a month
Yeah, get a free
and just
trial.
binge the first 2 seasons because you will
Absolutely.
love it. Yeah.
So good.
Martin Short,
Oh,
Steve Martin, and uh, why am
Selena
I
Gomez.
blanking on? Thank you, Selena Gomez, who is an amazing actor, by the way. I just like
And
they
Sharon
that.
says
Yeah.
Magpie Murders. Love, love the
Oh yeah,
Magpie Murders. Yeah. I read the
that's
books
another
and
great
then we
one.
started the show together and
Yeah.
it's a murder within a murder, and then the way that the show is done on the BBC, it's like the same cast members are playing both roles. So for like the first episode you were like, what is happening? But then once you get into it, if you don't have that backstory, it's great. Uh-huh. Um
Oh, Joseph. Wow. That's
You woke
like
up after
I might
24 hours and
I might frame this as like a life achievement comment right there. That's wow. I
I'm
hope
s-
I hope you're doing well.
I know, I'm so glad you're
Yeah.
here. I hope you're feeling better and also like doing all the things in terms of like taking care of yourself and healing and taking time and being gentle and yeah, the mama bear in me is going to come out and then I'm going to get a little teary, but I'm glad you're here. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you have this community who like absolutely loves you, right? Yeah.
Definitely. Beth brought up a great that this wow. This is all I
Wow.
can say.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Loved it.
show was crazy awesome. I loved
Yes.
it. Oh, I mean, that
Oh,
that
and
hit my sweet spot in like 18 different ways.
and then
So,
Foundation. We are partway through Foundation. Beth, we're vibing on all the same shows for
oh
sure.
yeah,
Yes. Uh-huh.
yes, yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
great.
Foundation, Invasion season 2 is
Yeah.
coming. COVID and now the writer and actor strikes are delaying everything, but that's a good one as well, for sure.
Someone had asked if you get to see our book club picks. Yes, I haven't picked the book yet because we'll do
Oh
that
yeah,
for the first live in September. Our
yeah,
plan is that we will each have a pick. We'll do a live. We'll just do like a general fun Q&A live again. We'll share each of the book picks, give you a month to read them, and then in early October we'll have our book club chat about them. That's the
right,
plan. Yeah.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
W- Uh,
Oh, Jessica the flight attendant. Oh my gosh. That was so good and also hard to
oh wait,
watch because Keely, Cuckoo, Coco, how do you say her last name? Uh, she is such a mess through the whole thing. And she's also on a great new show that is, oh gosh,
it's
um,
based on a true
based on
story.
a true story. Yes,
Somebody
where,
must have mentioned it because she says that she loved her in the flight attendant too. So
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
uh-huh. So good.
yeah,
Oh yeah, Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Rayburn. I love everything she writes too. She's phenomenal.
yeah,
So
that's
many good
true.
series. Yeah. Um okay, what do we have coming up?
We have, well, first I'm gonna go off here because I'll switch. But you've got a book coming out, or
I
it's
have a book
out.
coming out. And some of you already have
One
it
or
in
the
your
other.
hot little hand, which I'm so
Right.
excited about. Catch Me If You Candy, which is book 17 of the Bake Shop Mysteries, comes out officially August 22nd. This one is set at Halloween. So you have to have some Halloween candy or a pumpkin spice something, a hot apple cider. I know it's going to be the end of August, but I'm super excited about this one because Ashland at Halloween is just the most magical experience ever. And hopefully, you'll get a taste of that in this particular one. It's also the first time that any sort of pets have been involved in any book that I have ever written, 34 plus novels at this point in time. There's never been a pet that has showed up until now. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. We're going to do oh, nope, sorry.
Well,
And
I'll go
then,
back.
book,
I'll go back.
okay. Did you do an in card for the live stream or should I talk about that?
Oh yeah, we can do that one. Here you go.
Okay. Um, we're going to do a release party on August 22nd, same time. So be here for that. The tech guy's been working in the shop on some most amazing giveaways for that are all Halloween themed. So we'll have books to give away and some fun merch, and I've got some Halloween-ish quizzes and all of that. Pets, I know it's pets. Kate, I'm always sad when summer ends too. So this is the perfect seasonal transition. Yeah, you can just be like, all right, we're going into fall and we're thinking like beautiful leaves changing and all of the things. Yeah. A smoking bun, which you had the slide up for, that book
Mm,
18 comes out next February. So that'll be like a very wintry, snowy escape, hopefully at a time of year that works. And
and it's
yeah,
available for pre-order now.
it is available for pre-order now. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Question, where is the skull on Catch Me If You Candy? I don't know. Where is it? That is the question, isn't it? I think if you look closely, it's sort of front and center ish, is their idea. But,
No,
you know,
there's actually another one that's hidden. I'm not gonna say where it is.
I don't tell. I just
Okay.
took way too much ice. I love to suck on ice. Uh, Kara, how many books will there be in the series? I don't know, but I have signed on at least through book 21. I'm editing. I know. I'm editing book 19 right now, and then I've just started to sketch out my idea for book 20. So the bake shop is going to be of legal drinking age in a few more years, actually, with the way that timing works and comes out. So, yeah, at least 21, and who knows, maybe more from there. There's still so many ideas that I have for Jules. And the exciting thing for me about this series is the entire cast gets to grow and change. I shared yesterday that one of the things that I'm loving about Patreon is that I get to share other pieces. So I've had so much fun thinking about, like, okay, if Andy was sending a letter, what would it look like? Oh, it would definitely be like stained in coffee, and he'd be telling you about his newest roast. And I'm getting to add like little Easter eggs in for that piece. So the gift of writing a longer series is that all of the secondary characters are getting their own arcs. Maybe some spin-offy things could be happening. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out.
Hey, we have a first time viewer.
Yay, Sherry! Thanks for joining us. I hope you've had fun tonight. I hope you have, some new reads to add to your stack. As always, it's such a delight to hang out with everyone, and hopefully, we will see you right back here in just a couple weeks for the launch of Catch Me If You Candy. And on that note, good night and happy reading.
Good night.